Malcolm X is a 1992 American epic biographical drama film about the American activist Malcolm X. Directed and co-written by Spike Lee, the film stars Denzel Washington in the title role, as well as Angela Bassett, Albert Hall, Albert Freeman Jr., and Delroy Lindo. Today the movie is a cult classic centered around the Oscar-worthy performance of Denzel Washington, but during the time leading up to the movie's release, the behind-the-scenes turmoil of the Malcolm X production seemed nearly as dramatic and controversial as Malcolm's real life. Getting Malcolm X made was a remarkable accomplishment, one that took 25 years of struggle that only intensified as the camera started rolling. Today we bring you 10 things you didn't know about the movie Malcolm X. Welcome to the Life Television. Tell 'em, KK.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Number 10. The struggle to make the movie. As early as 1967, screenwriter Marvin Worth tried to get the biopic made. He'd known Malcolm from when they were both teenagers hanging out in Manhattan's jazz clubs in the 1940s, and the future minister was a drug dealer by the name of Malcolm Little, who ran by the street named Detroit Red. 2 years after Malcolm was assassinated, in 1965, Worth became the movie producer when he bought the film rights to the autobiography of Malcolm X. Worth enlisted the novelist James Baldwin to write the screenplay. The early Malcolm X drama had various stars attached to it over the years, including Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, as well as some top directors including Sidney Lumet and Norman Jewison. Number 9. Spike Lee. New York filmmaker Spike Lee dreamed of making a Malcolm X biopic since he was in college, and landed the job after being one of the most outspoken complainers that Malcolm X ought to be directed by a black filmmaker. As it turned out, Jewison had similar doubts that he was the right man for the job and dropped out. Lee did his own draft on the script. In the end, the finished screenplay will be credited to Lee and Pearl. Number 8. Denzel Washington. It was Jewison who brought Denzel Washington on board to star. He'd given the actor an early break in the 1984 film version of Fuller's A Soldier Story. Washington had even played Malcolm before in the 1981 off-Broadway play. By 1991, the actor had won the Oscar for Glory and had starred in Lee's Mo Better Blues. Malcolm X would mark the second of 4 times to date that Lee has directed Washington. To prepare for his role, Washington avoided eating pork, attended the Fruit of Islam classes, and learned how to Lindy Hop. He was so in character that he even knew which pair of glasses Malcolm X was wearing on a particular day. Washington tried to focus on what he had in common with the character. Washington was close to Malcolm X's age when he got assassinated. Both men were from large families, both had fathers who were ministers, and both were raised primarily by their mothers. Number 7. The budget. Initially, Spike Lee requested $33 million for this film, a reasonable sum considering its size and scope, but much more than his previous budgets. Because Lee's 5 previous films combined had grossed less than $100 million domestically, Warner Brothers offered $20 million for a 2-hour and 15-minute film, plus $8 million from Logro Entertainment for the foreign rights. When the film went $5 million over budget, Lee kicked in most of his salary, and so did Washington, but the financiers shut down post-production. Number 5. Celebrity Rescue. Lee went public with his battles and raised funds from celebrity friends including Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Janet Jackson, Prince, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Cosby, and Tracy Chapman. Their contributions were made as donations. As Lee noted, this is not a loan. They are not investing in the film. These are black folks with some money who came to the rescue of the movie. As a result, the film will be my version, not the Bonds Company's version, not Warner Brothers. I will do the film the way it ought to be, and it will be over 3 hours. The actions of the prominent members of the African American community giving their money helped finish the project as Lee envisioned it. After a positive screening of the rough cut, Warner Brothers kicked in more funds. Number 4. Locations Battle. One thing the studio didn't want to pay for was location shooting in Saudi Arabia, recounting Malcolm's pilgrimage to Mecca. The studio wanted to recreate Mecca in New Jersey. Nonetheless, Lee got his way and became the first filmmaker allowed to shoot a non-documentary feature at the Muslim shrine. Number 3. Spike Lee's press. As the film's release date approached, Lee made a number of controversial statements. He asked that the media outlets send black journalists to interview him. Later, he clarified that he wouldn't turn away white journalists, but he was trying to use his celebrity clout to get more work for black reporters. Lee also urged kids to skip school on the movie's opening day to go see it as a call to action, saying that the kids will learn more history from the movie than from a day in school. Number 2, box office success. Malcolm X ultimately cost $35 million to make, and it earned back $48 million in North America alone. It's the second highest grossing movie of Lee's 3-decade career, behind only the 2006 thriller, Inside Man. Looking back on the experience of making the film and the pressure he faced to produce an accurate film, Spike Lee jokingly stated on the DVD audio commentary that when this movie was released, he and Denzel Washington had their passports handy, just in case they needed to flee the country. Number 1, Oscar nomination. The Academy nominated Malcolm X for 2 Oscars, for his costume design and for Washington's lead performance. He lost Best Actor to Al Pacino, who finally won his first Oscar after 8 nominations for A Scent of a Woman. Malcolm X is a classic film, telling the story of a great revolutionary. With great direction, acting, locations, and great filmmaking, this movie has gone on to be one of the best films ever made.